10. Beginning with petitioner, would counsel announce appearances for the record, please?
May it please the court, Your Honor, the petitioner, T.R. Smith, appears in person via Zoom and by and through counsel Chase Vaughn.
Susie Locke appearing on behalf of Tanner Whitaker, who also appears.
All right. This matter comes before the court at this time. I trust in furtherance of a motion for ex parte emergency orders that has been submitted in the case. Mr. Vaughn, would you summarize for the record the current status of the matter before the court?
Your Honor, as the court's aware, we filed a motion, an affidavit in support of emergency ex parte orders based on the allegations contained therein. After filing that said motion, my client did file a PFA, and I have that case number. It is Greenwood 26 DM 14.
Was it a temporary protection order issued in that case?
It was, Your Honor. And again, that was after we filed this. So procedurally, I guess my request, Your Honor, would be I intend to enter my appearance in that matter, but I think it would be appropriate to consolidate those matters into the custody case.
Well, we'll talk about consolidation in a moment. Was any restrictions made on parenting time or custody rights of Tanner Whitaker in the PFA case? I trust that there was.
There were, Your Honor. I've got it pulled up here. So mom has sole legal custody. There's nothing in here that provides for parenting time for Mr. Whitaker in the temporary orders in the PFA. I know in our motion we requested that it be supervised once per week. I believe my client still would like to see that occur. She understands that Mr. Whitaker is the father and it's important for Carson to have parenting time, but given the severity and concern of the allegations, we would ask that it be supervised. But obviously we would need to address that modification in the PFA or have these consolidated.
When is the hearing date set on the protection case?
Looks like it's set for March 12th. It's by Zoom, Judge. I would assume, since it's by Zoom, that means that it's simply a status. But I don't get over to Greenwood as often.
It's probably set as the hearing on the petition.
Okay.
But I can't answer that with absolute certainty because that probably was set before the magistrate judge in Greenwood County, was it not?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Just a moment, counsel. All right. Ms. Locke, you've heard the initial statement made by Mr. Vaughn in this case. What would your opening statement be here?
Sure, Your Honor. I did file a motion to withdraw on this case. It was served on my client, and he is aware of that. I am not retained on the PFA case, so I can't speak to that case. Obviously, I'm asking to be allowed to withdraw from the case. However, I know my client disagrees with the facts as put forth in the petition and would like the court to hear evidence on the motion for an emergency change of custody.
All right, but you're asking to be allowed to withdraw as counsel for Mr. Whitaker at this juncture?
Correct.
All right, Mr. Whitaker, do you have any response to that?
No, I know Ms. Locke's been trying to drop the case for quite a while now. Unfortunately, I don't have the funds to hire another attorney, so I guess I'll have to write it out by myself. But I know Miss Locke's been trying to drop the case for a while, and it's a lot. I've been in court for 3 years now, straight, pretty much. So, with multiple different cases, so I understand
Like I didn't hear the last.
concerns, and we're not.
Okay.
Obviously, I'm frustrated. I
Okay.
was just saying that I know she's frustrated. I'm frustrated. We're not quite seeing fully eye to eye, and we're ready to move apart, I guess.
Very well then, Ms. Locke, the court will allow your withdrawal as counsel in the case if you'll submit an order to document that withdrawal for the file.
Yes, Judge. Do I need to submit that via Rule 170 or can I submit it directly to the court's queue?
Any objection to that procedure, Mr. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
Submit it directly to the court for approval.
Understood, Judge. May I be released from the hearing?
You are released from the hearing at this time, Ms. Locke.
Thank you.
All right, Mr. Whitaker, you're on your own at this point. You've already stated that you don't believe you have the resources to hire a different lawyer. So what is your response to what Mr. Vaughn has set forth before the court?
Oh, to be honest, my computer was kind of cutting out, so I didn't fully hear exactly what he was saying.
Judge, do you want me
I
to
didn't.
summarize or?
Well, Mr. Whitaker, it's the court's understanding that there's a protection from abuse case that's been filed and you've been served with that order?
Correct. Yes, I was served with the PFA.
All right. And it calls for
Yes,
the
sir.
mother to have sole legal custody at this time with you not being granted any parenting rights in that order. Is that a fair statement?
That's what the PFA shows, yes.
All right. It's the court's understanding that the mother in the case actually supports you having supervised visits once a week. At least that was literally part of the motion that's before the court today. Anything else you want to say?
I
And I
mean,
will
I
caution you that.
disagree with that. I'd like to.
Okay, just a minute. I just want to
I would
make sure
like
that
to continue.
I make a cautionary statement here. Mr. Whitaker, the conduct that is complained of in the motion, which is currently before the court in this case, involves what could be construed as criminal conduct on your part. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
All right. Now, because of that, I just want to make sure that you're aware that any statements that you make in this case could be used against you in a criminal or some other action. You understand that?
Yes, sir.
Okay. It's my understanding, Mr. Whitaker, that you did wish to make a statement.
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right. Go ahead and make the statement.
I was going to say I disagree with allegations, and I would like to continue my 50-50 parenting time with my son.
Okay.
For 11 and a half years, I've held 50-50 custody of our son, and this is not the first time that a PFA has been arose against me, and it has been nothing has ever been substantiated and come forth.
All right. It's the court's understanding from the allegations made in the petition, Mr. Vaughn, that referrals have been made by mandatory reporters to DCF, correct?
That is correct, Your Honor.
Has there been an investigation and substantiation?
Judge, as far as DCF, I believe that investigation's still pending. I do not know if it's been substantiated, unsubstantiated at this time.
Okay. All right, Mr. Vaughn, the court understands the protection from abuse statute to contain a provision which would allow this court to modify the parenting orders that were issued in the protection from abuse case. So did you intend to present evidence at this hearing?
I did, Your Honor. Both Mr. Metling and Ms. Downing are here on Zoom.
Okay. Which means what exactly?
The reporting parties, Judge. They're here and ready
Okay.
to testify.
So Mr. Metling is the SRO that you referred to in your paperwork? The school resource officer?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Who do you intend to call first?
Your Honor, I would call Mr. Metling. I know he's got to be in Wichita,
Okay.
so try to get him out of here if we can.
Deputy Metling,
Yes, sir.
you'd raise your right hand, please. I'll administer an oath. You do solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matter now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
Yes.
All right. You may proceed, Mr. Vaughn.
All right. Thank you, Judge. Good morning, Deputy. Can you hear me all right?
Yes, sir. Sure can.
Okay. Could you please state your name for the record, sir?
Matthew Metling,
And Mr. Metling, how are you employed?
full-time with the Greene County Sheriff's Office.
Okay. And are you a school resource officer?
Yes, sir.
And where is that at?
Eureka, Kansas with the USD 389 public schools.
And how long have you been in that role?
A little bit over a year and a half.
Okay. Are you a mandatory reporter?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Are you familiar with Carson Whitaker?
Yes, I am.
Okay. Have you had any recent interactions with Carson, let's say within the last 3 weeks?
Yes, I have.
Has Carson disclosed to you anything that caused you concern as a school resource officer?
Yes, sir.
And can you please tell the court what Carson disclosed to you?
He revealed to me that I believe he revealed on February 26th that a couple days prior, he and his sister had gotten into a fight at their house. And his sister went and told Tanner that he had put his hands on her neck. He revealed to me that he did not put his hands on her neck, but that he put it on her side, trying to push her away because she was trying to hit him. And then what I was told from Carson was that Tanner came downstairs, asked who saw the event, what happened, and then proceeded to go over to Carson, grab him on the neck, and then push him against the couch. He proceeded to go over to Carson, continue to yell and scream at him, and then walked away. And Carson said that was pretty much the end of the event, but that he was scared of the incident that took place.
Okay. Did you say he put his hands on it, or I can't remember. Did you say hand or hands on his neck?
Hands, plural.
Okay, thank you. Did Carson indicate to you that he had any issues breathing as a result?
He did not reveal that to me.
Okay. Okay, but you said the incident scared him?
Yes, sir. And he said that he was scared to go back home with his dad.
Okay. And based on those statements, did you, as a school resource officer, did you feel that it was your duty to report that?
Absolutely.
And did you file a report with DCF?
I personally did not file one with DCF. I was contacted by DCF because they received a referral from his therapist. And in conjunction with DCF, we both investigated the claim.
Okay. And do you know the status of the investigation?
I do not know where DCF is on it, on at least with that part of the investigation. I've done my stuff that I need to as the SRO, but as far as DCF is concerned, I don't know where they're at on that.
Okay. And are you able to tell the court if you believe it's substantiated or not?
I can give what I believe, but I don't have complete evidence regarding that.
Okay.
Counsel, I'm not going to have the witness speculate.
Sure. Understood, Judge. So you completed your investigation. If Miss Downing had not filed a report with DCF, would you have done so?
I would have still investigated, yes.
Okay. All right. Judge, I don't have anything further for this witness.
Mr. Whitaker, do you have any questions for Deputy Metling? You ask the question, he provides the answer?
I do.
Okay, go ahead.
Mr. Redland, can you hear me okay?
Yes, sir.
You said that Carson reported to you on Thursday, February 26th, correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so that would be a Thursday. Are you aware that Carson goes back to his mother's house on Wednesday?
Are you referring to the day prior of that report being taken?
I'm just asking if you're aware that Carson goes back to his house, his mother's house on Wednesdays.
I was not aware of that.
Okay. So Carson reported to you on Thursday, and he went back to his mother's house on Wednesday. So he had numerous days with me to prior to report to you if he was scared and didn't want to go back to me at my house. Is that correct? He would have had numerous opportunities to see you before Thursday
Yes, yes, you would
if
have.
he was scared while he was with me. Thank you.
Yep.
I don't think I have any other questions there.
Anything else for this witness, Mr. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Deputy Metling, you've completed your testimony. You can stay with the meeting or leave it at your choice.
All right. Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you for your appearance.
Yes, sir.
All right, Mr. Vaughn, you may proceed further.
Your Honor, I would call Tammy Downing.
I don't see a Tammy Downin.
I believe she's listed as Samsung SM there, Your Honor.
Yes, sir.
Okay,
I am.
all right. All right, Ms. Downin, if you'd raise your right hand, the court will administer an oath to you. You do solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matter now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God.
I do.
All right. Ms. Downin, you are likely to be testifying regarding matters that would otherwise be considered confidential.
Yes, sir.
This court will enter an order at this time that you are authorized and ordered to answer questions regarding any report regarding the subject matter that we're discussing, which is the incident that I think you've already heard described by the SRO. Do you
Thank you,
need
Your
any
Honor.
clarification about what you are authorized to testify about?
No, Your Honor.
All right. Very well. You may proceed further, Mr. Vaughn.
Thank you, Judge. Ma'am, could you please state your name for the record?
Tammy Downin.
And Ms. Downing, how are you employed?
I am self-employed. I am a
All right.
therapist.
A therapist. Okay.
Yes, sir.
And are you a licensed therapist?
Yes, I'm a licensed clinical therapist.
Okay. Are you familiar with Carson Whitaker?
Yes, sir.
And how are you familiar with him?
He has been my client for over 2 years now, I believe.
Okay. Do you recall an incident that happened in late February of this year regarding Carson?
Yes, sir.
Okay. When did you have your appointment with Carson?
Thursday, February 26th.
Okay. And can you just kind of walk the court through, or well, let me ask, was there anything concerning that happened on February 26th?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Can you just kind of walk the court through what, if anything, Carson disclosed to you?
Carson immediately got on session and said that, excuse me, let me clarify. We were on Zoom. So when I say got on session, we entered the Zoom session and disclosed to me that there had been an event at his father's house. He stated that Chastity's daughter and him had been in an altercation. She went to Tanner.
Chastity is who?
Tanner's girlfriend.
Okay.
Or significant other. I'm not sure exactly, but significant other. And I always mispronounce the daughter's name. Aaliyah is not right. Aaliyah maybe, had come to me and said that they had gotten into altercation She went to tell Tanner and Chastity that Carson had put his hands around her neck. He stated that that was untrue. Tanner came and asked the other kids if they saw anything. Everybody said that they did not. Carson stated that he thought that that was indeed true, that nobody else had really seen a whole lot because they had been engaged in other activities. He stated that Tanner wrapped his hands around Carson's neck like he thought Carson had done to the young lady and screamed in his face. He stated that he was struggling to breathe and it was incredibly scary.
Okay. Was Carson upset about this?
He told in a very matter-of-fact fashion. What differentiated this incident from the rest is Carson does not, maybe never, has gotten onto a session and disclosed the hard stuff immediately. It's hard to talk about hard stuff, so many times he's got to kind of come in and get comfortable, and I've got to get him comfortable in here before he's ready to talk. But this was an immediate disclosure as soon as session started.
Okay. What does that indicate to you, if anything, as his therapist?
It just indicates how heavy it was on him, and the strong need to disclose.
Okay. So once he made this disclosure to you, what did you do?
I explained to him that if that had indeed occurred, that was abuse, that I was a mandated reporter, and that while our sessions were confidential, I had to report suspected abuse or neglect to DCF.
Okay. Did you notify DCF?
Yes, sir, I did.
So you filed a report?
Yes, sir, I did.
And to your knowledge, is that investigation still pending or concluded?
Yes.
But
Oh, I'm sorry. As far as I know, it's still pending. I have received notification that there is an investigation and that I will, that there's an investigation. I don't know that I will be informed of the outcome.
okay. Let's see. Regarding next steps, did you notify anybody else?
Yes, I did notify his mother with his
Okay.
permission.
So did you call his mom, or how did you notify her?
She was asked to join the session immediately, which she did.
Okay. And so you notified Miss Smith.
Yes, sir.
All right. Did she indicate to you if she had prior knowledge of this incident?
She didn't. According to Carson, she did not. I don't know that I specifically asked her whether she did or not.
Okay, so but Carson told you that his mom didn't know.
Correct.
Okay. Did you get any indications as Carson's therapist that he was being coached into making these statements?
No, we discussed why he didn't tell mom.
Why didn't he tell mom?
So no, there was no indication. He stated that he did not tell mom because he did not want to escalate the situation through drama with mom and dad.
Okay, understood.
And that he felt that I was the best way to keep the situation calm and logical, basically.
Understood. And has Carson ever expressed concerns with his father's temper in the past?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And is his father's temper, does Carson view that as a problem?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Judge, I don't have anything further for this witness.
Court has some questions for Ms. Downen. Ms. Downen, you seem pretty clear on your labeling of what happened here as abuse. You later
If
referred to it as suspected abuse, but your first reaction was to call this abuse. So I'm going to ask you, what is the criteria that you use or the definition that you use to label this as abuse?
well, wrapping your hands around somebody's neck is physical abuse if they're struggling to breathe and scared. I'm not quite sure that I'm answering your question correctly, though.
You're not,
Okay.
but I'm just wanting to know what standard you're using.
I mean, if you cause physical harm by physically touching somebody, then that has always been taught to me as abuse.
What was the physical harm here?
Carson stated that he was struggling to breathe while the hands were wrapped around his neck.
So
And
that
to
was
my
the,
knowledge, yeah, to my knowledge, that would be a crime and abusive.
all right. I'm just wondering what criteria you utilize to make that determination. That's all.
I guess I'm not the one that gets to make that determination. That's DCF's job. I have to make the determination whether it's something that should be investigated and to be determined whether they feel like it was abuse or neglect.
All right. Okay. DCF has their standards and the court has theirs, Ms. Downen. But I just want to ask this question. Do you consider all parental physical discipline to be abuse?
Absolutely not.
Okay. Mr. Whitaker, do you have additional questions for Ms. Downen?
I do.
Okay. You may ask.
Ms. Downing,
Yes, sir.
can you hear me okay?
Yes.
When you had this session with Carson, you said that Carson immediately started telling you about the situation.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So you also stated that Carson did not tell his mother.
Yes, sir.
Why did Carson tell you just openly and quickly that about this situation and tell you that he didn't tell his mother? Why would Carson say that?
He explained that he just didn't want the situation to escalate an additional drama between the parents. Was his explanation, and I can only go on his explanation. I can't make any assumptions.
So you didn't ask him if he had told his mother or anything. He just openly just told you that.
No, I asked if he had told his mother, and I asked why not.
Oh, that's what I was asking. Also,
Yes, sorry.
during this session, was this a Zoom? Was this in person or Zoom, or how was this session?
It's
I guess?
virtual. I was referring to it as Zoom. It's an actual platform through my simple practice, but it was a virtual session.
Okay, so virtual. So can you see Carson?
I can, yes.
Okay, so was he at school or home or
He was at school.
okay, Carson was at school. Did you see any marks on Carson's neck or anything that would indicate that I ever choked him?
No.
Do you believe that if I had choked him, there would be marks on Carson's neck?
I don't have knowledge to be able to answer that question. I don't know.
Well, you said that it,
I'm really sorry you
If-
cut out and I wasn't able to understand.
well, you said that Carson stated that out, supposedly, correct?
And Mr. Whitaker, you froze both on
Yeah.
video and audio for a few seconds. So start that question over.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, you were pretty clear and then you just kind of started cutting out, but now you're good.
If a person was to apply pressure to someone's neck while trying to choke them, supposedly, would that not leave marks on them?
I am not a medical
I'm going to
professional.
object
I can't answer.
for speculation, Your Honor.
Okay.
That's outside the scope of
The,
her.
the objection sustained.
Thank you.
Next question, Mr. Whitaker.
So Carson, when did Carson say this incident occurred? When did he tell you this incident occurred?
I did not ask for a date. He simply said when I was with my dad.
Gotcha. Okay. But Carson was with me numerous days prior to your. Sorry, my radio's going off. Can you still hear me okay?
Yes.
So Carson me numerous days after this incident supposedly happened. I got Carson could have reported it to anybody prior to a random Thursday, numerous days after this happened. Is that correct?
I'll be honest, I have a real
If he
hard
was
time
actually
keeping up
scared.
with the custody arrangement, but had he chosen to report, I mean, he went to school, so I suppose he could have reported to somebody if he felt comfortable. In my experience, Carson takes a really long time to feel comfortable disclosing personal information.
Okay, I'm just trying. Okay. I think I'm done here.
Okay. Javon, any further questions for Ms. Downing?
Just briefly, Judge. So, Miss Downing, had you had a session with Carson from February 22nd? When was your first session with Carson?
I see Carson bi-weekly on Thursdays. I guess I'm not quite clear. I'm sorry. Can you repeat the question in a different way?
Yeah, I'm sorry. So the alleged incident happened on or about the 22nd of February. Did you have an appointment with Carson prior to that Thursday on the 26th, I believe you said?
Yeah, it would have been 2 weeks prior.
Okay, so that was your first session with him after the incident happened?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And you testified that Carson didn't tell his mom because he didn't want to upset the apple cart, basically, drama with parents, is that right?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Has that been an ongoing struggle for Carson?
Yes, sir. Per his report.
So, Carson, is it fair to say Carson is hesitant to relay negative information about either parent?
It seems like that. Yes, sir.
Okay. So for him to relay that to you immediately upon starting the session, does that indicate that it was serious to Carson?
It definitely seemed like it was very serious to Carson.
Okay. And whether or not you saw marks, being choked and struggling to breathe, is that traumatic to a child in your experience?
I would say most children would experience that as a traumatic event.
Okay. And as his therapist, does that concern you for Carson, not just his physical, but his mental, emotional well-being?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Judge, I don't have anything further for this witness.
Anything further along those lines, Mr. Whitaker?
I just have. I'll make it quick, sir.
Go ahead.
Ms. Downing, you said in the past you say that Carson is an emotional, nurturing child that doesn't want to upset other parents, correct?
Carson doesn't want to cause discord between the parents for sure. That's what I was referring to, is he does not want to cause discord between the parents.
Okay. So would it surprise you that Carson gets emotional when just being talked to about situations that involve him, that he may be in trouble for certain situations? He may start acting out, crying, as if he is preluding himself to be in trouble.
Judge, I'm going to object for relevance. I guess I don't quite understand the question, but I'm not sure it's relevant to the allegations of the petition.
I'm not sure what the question is either, Mr. Whitaker. Can you be a little bit more succinct? What are you asking here?
I'm asking if if it would surprise her that if the Carson cries and gets upset when he is in trouble before anything ever even is said, he's already crying as soon as I walk into the room.
So I'm going to object for relevance, Judge.
Objection overruled. The witness is directed to answer.
I mean, based on his age, we're at a pretty emotional age. So in general, it wouldn't surprise me that kids around that age were pretty emotional. I guess I'm not quite
All
sure
right, Ms.
how to
Dowden, I
answer.
think you've answered that narrow question.
Okay.
Okay. Mr. Whitaker, anything further?
So if Carson was scared to be with me, he could have reported it numerous days prior to Thursday, though, at school. And
Theoretically, yes.
Carson, did he mention that he was with me on Wednesday at an orthodontist appointment, me and his mother, for over an hour?
No, I knew that there had been a dental procedure, but I didn't know the dynamics of who was in attendance and how long it occurred.
Okay, so he never mentioned that he was with me on Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday.
I honestly did not ask for details about the week prior, so no.
Okay. I guess I'm done.
I didn't hear it. Your voice trailed off. What'd you say at the end there?
That's all I have, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. Yeah. All right. Very well. Is there any reason why Ms. Downing can't be excused from the meeting at this time?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Ms. Downing, you can stay with the meeting or leave it at your choice. Thank you.
All right, thank you.
All right. Anything further at this time, Mr. Vaughn?
Judge, I would call the petitioner briefly.
All right. If she'd raise her right hand, the court will administer an oath. Do you solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matter now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Go ahead, Mr. Vaughn.
Thank you. Would you please state your name for the record, ma'am?
Tiara Smith.
And Ms. Smith, you're the mother of Carson.
Correct.
Okay. Did you hear the testimony of both Deputy Madeline and Ms. Downing?
Yes.
Okay. Can you kind of walk the court through or let me just ask you, when did you find out about the incident with Carson being choked?
I found out on Thursday while he was on his therapy session via Zoom.
Okay. So prior to then, had you had no knowledge whatsoever of the incident?
I don't know what happened. On Wednesday when we were going to the orthodontist, he just told me that he really needed to see his therapist because he needed to talk to her about some things that he felt were concerning. I did try to ask him if I needed to be worried, and he said that he just wanted to talk to her about it, and would not disclose to me what happened. I didn't find out until he was on his Zoom.
Okay. Did you press him any further about it?
I asked if anybody was harmed,
Mm-hmm.
and he would not answer me.
Okay. So, I'll just ask did you coach Carson to disclose these statements to the deputy and to Ms. Downing?
No.
Okay. Are you concerned for your son's safety?
Yes.
while with Mr. Whitaker?
Yes.
Okay. So at this time, what are you asking the court to order?
That I have sole custody and his father receive supervised visits.
Okay. And would that be weekly?
Yes.
And do you believe that an emergency exists that would necessitate the court to make this order for your son's safety and well-being?
Yes.
Okay. Judge, I don't have anything further of this witness.
Ms. Smith, how would the supervised visitation work? You haven't proposed any particular time, place, or who the supervisor would be.
When I originally filed the PFA, I had filed it to match the motion, where it would be 1 hour once a week at a public location.
Like what?
Like here in Eureka, or if there's a supervision center nearby, just somewhere that there would be eyes and ears present while Carson was able to see his dad.
Okay, is there a place in Eureka that you think is suitable for that purpose?
I mean, we have a library, we have like a TAC, like a activity center, or I mean, public restaurants or something here. There's not a whole lot in Eureka.
Okay.
And Judge, I'm not super familiar with that area. I know like here in Iola, we've got Hope Unlimited. Pittsburgh has got a supervised visitation center. Obviously, I think having it in a public setting might be appropriate, but if there is a visitation center in a town nearby, that would also, I think, would be appropriate. I just don't know of one.
Okay. Any further questions for Ms. Smith, Mr. Vaughn, at this time?
No, Your Honor.
All right, just want to make sure. Mr. Whitaker, do you have specific questions for Ms. Smith that you need to ask at this time?
I just have one question, I believe. How long are you wanting these supervised visitations to take place? You're trying to change the order completely? Is that my understanding?
I'm not sure how long these usually stay in place for. This was an emergency for Carson's safety. So as long as the judge deems fit.
But you submitted these papers, correct? So you should know how long you're setting these out to be.
Judge, I'm gonna, I guess, object, or I don't know if argumentative. It's really up to the court as far as how long this would last.
Court will sustain an objection. The court believes that Ms. Smith has honestly tried to answer the question already.
I have
Do you
no
have any
further
other questions, Mr. Whitaker?
No, sir.
All right. Ms. Smith, why the two cases? You had your attorney file this paperwork for an emergency order in the existing case. And then, really, almost at the same time, you filed a second case, a protection from abuse case, seeking or resulting in even more restrictive relief than what you originally requested under oath in this case. Why the two different actions?
Because Carson was set to go back that following weekend. So the emergency order wasn't set for hearing for a week. Therefore, Carson was set to go back to his dad's house for 4 days after the allegations, and he was scared of what would happen or be said to him when his dad became aware of what he had reported and DCF being involved. And so I felt that until we could be heard for today's emergency order, that the best thing to do was to file the PFA to keep him safe.
Very well. The court has no additional questions. That will conclude the testimony of Ms. Smith. Yeah, anything further at this time, Mr. Vaughn?
No, Your Honor.
All right, Mr. Whitaker. I've already advised you earlier that you don't have to testify at all regarding this incident if you don't want to. However, if you want to provide a response, testimonial statement or statements at this time, the court will give you the opportunity to do so. Do you desire to testify in this matter?
No, Your Honor.
No? Okay. And let me tell you the import of that. This court intends to reassign the protection case as Chief Judge of the District to this court. This will remove the case off of the trial date that was originally set. I'm going to reset a final determination on the protection from abuse case at 9:15 a.m. on Friday, March the 13th. The court has already received testimony from Ms. Downen, from SRO Metling, and Tierra Smith. And I've given Mr. Whitaker the opportunity to testify, but Mr. Whitaker, if you elect not to testify today, I will consider that you're not going to testify in the abuse case either. Is that your intention?
Uh,
I'm not trying to press you.
I mean-
I just need to know, do you want
Are
me
we
to hear
looping this
your
all
side of
together?
that?
Is that what you're
Yes,
saying? These are both
in
together.
essence. I just want to make sure that you
Gotcha.
have an opportunity to testify today. Do
I mean,
you
I
wish
would-
to or not?
In that case, yeah, I would like to speak.
Well, you'll have to testify under oath just like everyone else. All
Yes,
right,
sir.
raise your right hand, please. You swear to, in this case, Mr. Whitaker, let me back off here just a minute. You understand the incident that we're discussing here?
Yes, sir.
And I've previously advised you that you don't have to testify at all.
Yes, sir.
I do want to make sure you understand once again that if you do testify in this case, it could be used in another action against you, just so you understand that. Because you're not represented by counsel, so I just want to make sure. I don't know what you're going to testify to here, Mr. Whitaker, in response. We're really focusing on a very narrow incident. You understand that? We're not
Yes,
talking
sir.
about your general parenting or anything like that. We're talking about that incident that led to this emergency motion and the protection case. So that's all you're responding to at this time. So I just
Okay,
want to make
well, then
sure
I
that
guess
you
I-
do want to testify as to what happened from your perspective on that occasion. And I'm not trying to
Yes,
talk
Your
you
Honor.
out of it. I'm just trying to make sure you understand the import of what you might be testifying to here.
Yeah, the only thing I have to say is that there was a situation I handled with my son, and
Okay.
there was
Right.
nothing that happened.
Okay. Just a minute. All right. Fine. Okay. I'll go ahead and administer the oath then.
Yes, sir.
Raise your right hand again. I don't see your hand, Mr. Whitaker.
Yes, sir.
You do solemnly swear that the testimony you're about to give in the matter now in hearing shall be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. So help you God?
Yes, sir.
All right. Very well. State your name.
Tanner Whitaker,
Okay. And in what community do you currently reside?
Eureka.
Okay. Your son is Carson?
Yes, sir.
All right. Again, we said we would narrowly focus on this incident. Something happened during your parenting time period, which has been described by several witnesses here today as to what Carson related happened. Do you wish to give your perspective on that incident?
I do.
All right, Tanner, what happened?
Uh, the kids were playing down in the living room. I was helping Chastity hang up some on the house and do some stuff, playing and whatnot. And the next thing we know, we heard a bunch of screaming and yelling, just wall scratching, screams, yelling, "Stop! Stop! Stop! Ow, stop!"
Okay, you're breaking
And
up, Mr.
stop.
Whitaker.
And can you hear me now?
I can now.
We heard some screaming, yelling, "Stop! Stop! Stop!" And not Carson, Elia came running through the house to where Chastity and I was, crying, with red marks all around her neck, fingerprints, and we asked her, what's going on, and she said that Carson had choked her, and the she was just trying to get the ball, and he started choking her, which we had heard the screaming prior. I said, "Okay, what'd you do?" And she said, "I was just trying to get the ball." And I said, "Okay." And I went downstairs. I walked through the house. I went to go downstairs, and before I even rounded the corner at the bottom of our stairs, Carson was sitting on the couch already, bawling. So I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. I didn't do anything. Just completely defensive. And I said, "You didn't do anything." He said, "Nope." I said, "You seriously didn't do nothing because she has marks around her neck." And he said, "Nope." And that was literally the extent of it. I never threw Carson into the couch. I never put both my hands around Carson's neck and choked him to where he could not breathe.
Did you touch him
Um,
physically, Tanner?
I asked I put my hand by his neck and I said, "This would be what choking is." I never once squeezed or anything. I said, "You didn't do this to her." And I just showed him, I just did this. I said, "You didn't do that to her at all." I said, "Because there's marks on her neck right now that show that you did or someone did." And he said, "I didn't do anything." And he's like pushing me away. And when I said, "You didn't do this," and I did that, he's like, "Stop, I can't breathe. I can't breathe." But again, mind you, he was already crying. He was already worked up and upset. I said, I instantly, as soon as he said I couldn't breathe, I instantly pulled my hand away. I said, "I'm not even touching you. I'm not even squeezing you. I'm not doing anything. I'm questioning you on what happened. You said that you didn't choke her, but there's marks on her neck." And I even grabbed my neck and I just squeezed my neck a little bit. And I said, "See this?" And I pulled my hand away and I said, "There's marks there." I said, "So that's what happens when you squeeze," which is exactly why she has super red marks. He instantly continued to bawl, scream, saying he didn't do anything. And I said, "I'm done with you. I'm done with arguing. You two need to figure it out. You two are arguing now." I said, "We're done playing. I'm taking all tablets away, all electronics the rest of the day. Y'all need to separate yourselves for a while. If you want to reconvene here in a little bit, that's fine. But if there's any more issues, you guys will be grounded and their tablets won't come back." And that was the end of the situation.
All right. Did Carson seem to be upset with the discipline that you otherwise imposed on him? The loss of
Oh,
devices?
absolutely. Absolutely. He sat around on the couch for probably an hour and moped and cried because he couldn't be on his tablet until I finally went in there. I don't know, it's probably about 45 minutes later, and I said, "Hey, I need help hanging this up. Why don't you come help me?" Because I said, "You're not going to sit around all day and just do nothing." Because he didn't even move from the couch at all. Like, he legit just sat there and cried and watched the other kid. The other kids just went on about playing. Um, After me and Carson had our talk, and all the things the kids went playing, he just sat there like he couldn't do anything.
Okay.
I even went back in there at one point in time and asked him to play with him. I said, "Why don't you go play with him or do something, find something to do, instead of just sitting here."
Mr. Vaughn, do you have any additional questions for Mr. Whitaker?
I do, Judge. Mr. Whitaker, can you hear me all right?
I can.
Okay. Now, we had a trial, a couple months ago, correct?
A good 6 months ago, probably, yeah.
And there was quite a bit of testimony about your temper, wasn't there?
Yeah, I believe so.
Yeah, but you said you didn't have a temper, right?
No, no, sir.
You don't have a temper.
I mean, I think everyone has frustrations.
Okay. Were you frustrated with Carson at that time? A little angry?
No,
You weren't upset at all?
no, sir.
So, child gets choked with red marks crying, and that didn't upset you at all? Oh, you froze.
Hear what you just said, sorry.
Could you repeat that? You froze. We didn't. I don't think anybody caught that.
I couldn't hear what you asked. You cut out completely.
Um,
I didn't hear anything.
so you weren't upset at all that Elia had red marks and apparently had been choked and was crying. That didn't upset you at all.
I mean, I was upset for that Elia had marks on her, and I was disappointed that Carson had choked her, but I wasn't.
Hmm.
I wasn't mad about anything. I wanted to go be a parent and figure out what happened and why such thing would happen.
Okay, and you touched Carson's neck, correct?
I touched it.
Okay. And while you had your hands on his neck, he was crying and said, "Stop, I can't breathe." That was your testimony?
Uh, I had one hand right here on his neck. I never had hands plural, and he did say that uh, while I was touching his neck, like I would shake your hand, like I would touch you on the shoulder or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Um, did you and Carson ever talk about this incident again?
There was never any more discussion. I mean, later on that evening, there was a little more discussion.
Okay. Um, did you did you complete your anger management classes?
I'm almost done with them. I'm a little over halfway through them right now.
Okay, but you haven't
Thank you.
completed them as of yet.
No, sir. I'm still working on that. It's a pretty extensive course if you're not aware of it.
Sure, sure. Um, but there's been other instances where your temper got the better of you, hadn't there?
Uh, I would say frustration built up, and I'm a human.
Yeah, like when you chased the coworker out of the building.
I don't think that that's relevant.
Okay, but I mean it led that you were upset then, right?
I never chased a coworker out of a building. You're
Okay.
applying assumptions.
Okay, but something happened where your temper got the better of you, and it resulted in you being terminated, correct?
Again, you're making assumptions.
Let's answer the question, Mr. Whitaker.
I was I got in a disagreement with a person at work.
Okay, and it led to your termination.
I didn't get terminated. We separated.
Okay, gotcha. Judge, I don't have anything further for this witness.
All right. Anything further, Mr. Whitaker?
No.
All right. The court has heard testimony from a number of parties in this case. In the court, I will just note that the allegations currently against Mr. Whitaker were all presented essentially as hearsay. The court has not heard from the alleged victim in this case, or in this action, the child of the parties. Nevertheless, based on the evidence presented, the court does find that there's good reason to enter in this case an order similar to what exists in the protection case. In other words, at this time, the court finds that a temporary order of sole legal custody in the favor of Tierra Smith will be ordered in this case. The proposal regarding a supervised visit is adopted by this court and trumps any conflicting order in the protection case. The court will find that the father is entitled to a supervised visit at a public location between now and the time of the protection hearing, which this court intends to conduct Friday, March the 13th at 9:15 a.m. in Eureka, Kansas. This is an in-person proceeding, and quite frankly, I have made it clear that the testimony presented by the various parties has already been heard by the court substantially, with one exception, and that is this young man himself. It is the intention of the court to conduct further investigation into the facts in this case through an interview with Carson. The court's going to direct the mother to have him present at the Greenwood County Courthouse in Eureka,
Your
Friday,
Honor.
March the 13th at 9:15. Yes?
May I speak? My daughter qualified for kids wrestling state that day. We will actually be in Topeka.
Who's we?
My family, my son, my daughter's first state appearance for wrestling.
Well, does that necessarily include Carson?
We were planning for him, we were leaving Thursday to stay in Topeka because it's an all girls state tournament on that Friday.
Well,
For him to be able to be there because he hasn't been able to be at any of her wrestling tournaments or any of her wrestling events. And this is the first time she gets to go.
so you're pulling him out of school to do that?
Correct. Yes.
Well, I don't want any delays here.
Judge, I'm completely open on the 20th. I don't know if that's too long. I mean, that's 2 weeks from today.
Your Honor, that's over 3 weeks of me not having any actual.
I understand, Mr. Whitaker. I do understand your situation.
State wrestling doesn't have anything to do with Carson.
I will stay behind with Carson then.
Just a moment. You have him available by Zoom on Monday, March the 9th at 4 o'clock.
Yes, I can.
Right, I'll conduct it as part of a breakout session as part of a Zoom proceeding. We'll use the same Zoom numbers as today. I haven't had any problems with your audio or video. Ms. Smith, where are you participating from?
My home.
All right. My problem is that when I interview Carson, I don't want you in the room. I don't want you to be able to hear or see or anything of that nature. And you've got a very, very small video screen. I don't know why that is.
Oh, I don't know.
I think it's her phone, Judge.
Yeah.
Okay. Is that your only device that,
No, he has an iPad.
oh, okay. I think I'm going to want a little wider view.
Okay.
Hey, Tiara, if you turn your phone sideways, will it give us the whole? There we go.
All right. Mr. Vaughn, can you be available at that time?
4 o'clock. Will
Yes.
that'll be by Zoom, Your Honor?
Yes.
That I can make that work.
We'll all join by Zoom at 4. That's the intention of the court anyway. And then we'll do a breakout room between the young man and the court. And then I'll resume back onto the record after that interview is complete.
If it makes any note, Carson is available today. I didn't know if that was an option. We have him on standby.
He's at school, Judge, but
No,
I
it's okay.
had Miss Smith make sure that he would be available to testify if there was any objections to hearsay. So the school's aware that he could appear if needed. And he's not at home, so I don't know if that makes the court more comfortable since he's at school right now.
And the school would set him up in a private room by Zoom?
Yes.
Correct.
They have a conference room.
Well, how long logistically would it take for that to get set up?
I can have him set up right now.
I would think no more than 10
5 minutes. 5, 10
Yeah.
minutes.
All right, then the court will recess. Let's get him on.
Okay.
Okay. The court is in recess.
Okay. Yeah, I'm going to pop out.